Oh my gosh, the lights are on. Yes! We can check out the floor that I bought the other day before the lights turned off. Oh, it looks so much better. Also, check it out. I mopped up here in the dark yesterday. Look at that. The floor actually looks relatively presentable. Today is going to be a super exciting day because we've got electricians working, gas fitters working, Paul the handyman's working, I'll be working. Yeah, we're gonna get a lot of stuff done today in the new studio. I do think I need to mop up here one more time because it's still pretty dirty actually. I guess I couldn't really see that in the dark yesterday. But we're actually gonna be laying carpet tile up here, so I want it to be nice and clean before that's done. Before I do anything though, I've gotta wake up and smell the coffee. You can hear the saw in the background. That's Paul working on the stairs. He's just trimming some of the 2x4s. And we just finished laying this tile right here. So he ran it through his tile cutter. Once again, we can't remove this like gold piece right there. It's just glued on too tight or too strong, I should say. And when I tried to remove it, it cracked one of the tiles. But once we fill this all in with grout, you're gonna barely be able to tell that it's cracked or whatever. It's gonna blend in quite nicely. Especially once we put like cabinets in here and stuff, you're not really gonna see that. But once the glue that holds those tiles in place dries, then we're ready to grout it. On the electrical front, the first thing that happened today was the raising of these boxes. So those boxes, they used to be down there, and I raised them up so that they're above the Billy bookcases. So for example, a Billy bookcase, and electrical plugs above the bookcase, and then I can run extension cords around the top of the bookcases. Now that that is done, we just got to go through with a little mini roller and just touch up all these walls. It's literally going to take half hour to go through with a little bit of paint and get that all touched up. So not the end of the world having to raise those plugs. I definitely think that it was beneficial to do just because now the bookcases are going to sit flush against the wall. So definitely was a positive change. It's a bit weird having the plugs up there, but it suits our needs here in the shelving rooms. Something that's in progress right now is the lowering of these plugs. So these plugs, they used to be up here. So they lowered them down just so when I'm filming like the Lego City or whatever it may be, they're not in the shot. I know the idea is to hang banners on these walls eventually, but I still think it's going to be better to have the plugs down low. So if we do need to run cables underneath the banners, it's going to be easier because I don't think the banners are going to go right to the floor. So having access to those plugs is definitely worth it. Now I had this breaker box over here that wasn't active. It's still not active, nor is it complete. And there was plugs feeding off of that, and they ran along this wall here. Originally, I was going to have them lower these plugs as well in case I ever decided to run power to that breaker box. But then I was like, you know what? It's all good. So I grabbed my drill and some screwdrivers and just sort of ripped all this stuff out. And now my car is the conduit slash copper wire mobile again. But yeah, just ripped all that out. So now all of these walls here, or all of these holes, can be patched just like all of the other ones and sanded down eventually and repainted, of course, and that'll tidy that right up. So I'm just prepping this wall for the mud, and the electricians, they started leveling out these lights here, and then they're going to work on raising those lights. Also, they've got to run the power for the new heater, which should be going in today, and it's going to be fed from the power source that powers the existing heater, probably starting over there somewhere, but the gas fitters aren't here yet, so I'll have to run that by them. But I'm thinking that's what's going to happen today. I hope, at least. It's time to say goodbye. Look at the rust spot from the original furnace. That's crazy. This thing has seen its days, hasn't it? Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. It's just wild. I'm happy that I never attempted to turn it on, that's for sure. There we go, now all the lights have been raised up. So these ones were hanging down low. Now they're raised up, so that's going to give us proper clearance for the infrared heater that's going in. Also, I just think it looks better because you're not staring into a big bright light. There's just more clearance. So that is just way better. So the electricians are almost done. They just have to do some alignment adjustments on some of these lights, but for the most part, they're already perfect. The staircase has been framed up as well, so we've got some 2x4s going up right at the top and then coming down the side here. And we're actually in the works of grabbing some drywall, and we're going to cut that drywall so that it goes up the side of the staircase and also in the interior as well. And I also peeled off these sheets here. There were some big thick plywood sheets on there, and to like pry them off, there was some crazy nails that were holding them in place, and I actually had to use an angle grinder and like grind them off. So these nails here, they were pretty stubborn. So when I pulled the sheet off, I just cut them with the angle grinder and then bashed them in. And then eventually we'll just fill in all these little nooks and crannies that remain and then paint it. Here's the big sheets right here, and this is one of the nails. There was no way that you could remove these from the concrete. So we just had to use an angle grinder, cut off the head, and then bash them in. That one, I guess, came out with the wood, but that's the two big sheets that used to host the boxes for the old telephone lines. I'm glad that that's all cleaned up. The sheetrock has arrived. Gotta love this sound, eh? Woo! Lots of action happening here today. There's the old hot water tank too. So it's pretty cool because they're replacing all the pipes with PVC, which is gonna look a lot better. I also decided that we're gonna be replacing the butt ugly cold air return as well. So you know what, if we're going to replace the furnace and the hot water tank, we may as well replace these ugly old ducts as well. Like this right here doesn't look that good. Can you imagine having a new furnace hooked up to that thing? I'd rather not. So there we go, that cold air return has now been removed. Now this is an exciting moment in time. It feels pretty good to get all this like old cold air return stuff out of here. So it's all been removed. And then the new furnace and hot water tank have been roughed in. I think the hot water tank is filling right now, actually. Look at the size difference. It's pretty wild. This new high efficiency stuff. I'm also getting the AC coil put in. So if I do decide that I want AC, the furnace has already got the coil put in. Oops. That's already got the coil put in, so it'll be a little bit easier when that time comes. We got lots done today, that's for sure. The fact that we just started the heating, like the hot water tank, the furnace, and the heat in general just puts a huge smile on my face. And also the electricians are pretty much all done. Like how cool is that? I'm like fired up on that. Also, a bunch of the finishing work has been started as well. So let's check it all out. First of all, the electricians had this massive scaffolding in here, and they've actually disassembled it because they're done. They're done. Their lights are all level and they look incredible, and they no longer need scaffolding. So they took it apart and they're gonna come pick it up tomorrow. The heating guys removed essentially all of that ducting and the old furnace and the old hot water tank. So those are out of here, other than like the blower motor right there, and then some miscellaneous ducts right here. And look at this, it's just so nice. It's so much more compact. It's actually wild. Now I was thinking to myself the other day that I might not need a huge hot water tank like this, but you can adjust the temperature, so I'm not gonna need it to be like very hot. So when it's actually turned on, I'm probably gonna turn it right by low, because I just need like warm water for maybe washing a little bit of Lego and washing my hands. So I'll try to save energy that way. Other heating options like smaller hot water tanks and stuff were actually more money in the end. So I'll just try to manage the efficiency that way. But look at that, with the giant cold air return gone, oh, it already looks better. So they're gonna be putting all new in there, and then we're gonna see if we can frame that using drywall just to box it in nicely. And that actually might serve as a nice shelf going over there. It might look pretty cool. I'll see how the new one looks before I call the shot on that, I guess. Now, the electricians, they're almost done. I did say they were done. They did get pretty much everything done, right? Like they raised those plugs. These plugs are looking good. The lights are looking sweet, but they do have to come finish one more thing, and it was actually their suggestion. Once we build the wall that's going to go around the utility room, they suggested that first off, we should move the plug or the light switch, because this is the light switch for up here, and I don't want to go in the utility room every time I want to turn on the lights. And second off, they're like, okay, well, we removed these here because they weren't the plugs, that is, because they weren't powered by that. But what we could do is we could actually feed off here, because there's a ton of power right here, and we can put plugs in this wall. So you put like a plug there and a plug there, and then you'll have some power over there. So it's like, oh, that's a great solution. It's a little bit disappointed that we don't have power over here, but we will have power there. So that is pretty nice. Also, this box right here, I'm going to convert this into a standard plug as well. So I'm gonna have like 4 plugs there, which is super nice actually. And they have to do one more thing as well. So the heating guys, they still don't have an answer as to where they need the electrical fed to. So like the electrical right there, they don't know if they need it over here or over there, or exactly where it's going to go for the thermal heater or infrared heater. That's the name of it. I've called it a radiant heater, a thermal heater, but it's an infrared heater. So yeah, the electricians still have to run the power to the infrared heater. We're not sure where exactly that's going to be, but I guess we'll figure that out in the near future. Now, something else has been brought to my attention in regards to the infrared heater, and that's the fact that we probably won't be able to put a 50-foot heater in here, and we might have to switch it to a 30-foot heater, which is, I guess, sort of unfortunate, because maybe it won't be as efficient, or will it be more efficient? I really don't know. I don't have the answer to that question. Will it be as warm? I don't think it'll be as warm, but I'm sure it'll do a great job of heating this place, because it's a 30-foot heater. I mean, that unit right there used to heat this place. So I'd imagine a 30-foot infrared heater will still do the trick. We have to reduce the size of it, because if we center a 50-footer in this space right here, which is 63 feet long, the end of it is going to come to about there, and there is no way of venting it. The pipe would be too long. So unfortunately, a 50-footer is not going to work in here. Originally, we thought it was going to go into the mezzanine space, but no, that is not the case. It's just not safe to bring it over there into the mezzanine space. So we're going to have to run a 30-footer, starting within a safe distance there, and going to about there, where we can run the vent to the roof vent there. So yeah, that's a bit of a change. There's also been another change in regards to this. I insisted that we remove all of this stuff here. So this project is sort of at a standstill until we get the proper ducts on order. Not like quack quack duck, but ducts. Yeah, we need to get the cold air return, and we need to get all of the specialty made stuff to make sure that we can run that. But that stuff is very like readily available, so that shouldn't take too long. But they don't want to continue installing this and running new pipes and stuff and like getting it all set up until they have that, because they literally can't do it without that. So we're going to wait for that. I'm not sure if that's going to be tomorrow or today or whatever it may be. You'll probably notice the stairs look substantially different as well. So we did all the framing there, and then it's also been drywalled. So the drywall is on the sides there. Look at that. Paul did a great job. Doesn't that look great? Yeah, it's like perfect. And then we have the interior drywalled as well. That looks pretty killer. And then this side is drywalled here. And of course, it's not done yet. So what's going to happen is he's going to cut, I can't remember if he's going to use a 1x4, like a piece of wood, or if we're just going to put MDF on the top to create a handrail to finish that off. And then I think he was going to put some MDF coming down the side as well to finish that off as well. And then of course we're going to tape it, mud it, paint it, and then we'll run carpet coming down the stairs as well. So some tremendous progress has been made on that front. Like, that was looking so bad at the beginning of the day. Look at that. It looks pretty good now. No, it doesn't look pretty good. It looks really good. I'm excited about that. Now, the wall that we want to build is going to go right there. And we're actually going to make a 40-inch wall. That cabinet is 42 inches, and we also framed that wall. It's right over here. So that wall is framed, ready to go. We just got to install it up top there. We're just gonna wait for the heating guys because they're dealing with some stuff on top there, the heat going into the bathroom. So we've got to wait a little bit before installing that, but that is gonna be beautifully framed there. And then we're gonna wait till the heating guys are done to frame the other section of the wall going to the wall, and also wait to frame these walls until the heating guys are done as well, because of course we need to know where these ducts are gonna go and stuff like that. The other day when the power went out, I was unable to feature the internet setup here. It's really nice. It's right beside the electrical box. At first I thought, oh, maybe they're gonna put it on this drywall right here, but then I convinced the guy to actually put it right into the concrete, so it's right beside the electrical box, and now it doesn't really take up that much space, which is super nice. So we've got the Nokia box, I don't know, I guess we need that. We got the fiber internet, and then we've got Wi-Fi, of course, and I can actually run Ethernet cables off that box right there. So if I want to put like hardwired connections to my computers upstairs, it's going to be very easy to run cables like off there and then underneath that conduit. So it's just going to be beauty. And I'm really happy that I have this entire wall right here, because I'll probably be able to put some like shelving in and put storage in there. It's going to be super nice. I can also put some more storage underneath the stairs. So that is perfect. And then we'll probably have like a nice shipping station or some sort of workstation right here, maybe a live stream station, laptop, or maybe some part selections. Because of course we're gonna have parts upstairs, but maybe I'll have some tables on wheels with drawers or something like that in this area, because the city's gonna be down here and I wanna be able to, you know, access parts easily. So I might have like maybe some commonly used parts, or like some parts that I've picked for the day in some sort of drawer unit that can wheel around right there. But that just makes me happy. The placement of the internet, like the boxes for it, is just beautiful. And once again, super happy that I was able to remove this plywood, and I can't wait to touch up all these walls with paint, because the white doesn't look good, but of course eventually this whole area is going to be painted, and that'll really freshen it up in general. And I've got a pretty sweet thing. So my buddy Stings Bricks, it's Tim. He's like a local bricklinker who's just a beauty. He saw my video the other day when we went to Costco and we were shopping for TVs. He's like, yo, I got a spare TV. My neighbor gave me a TV for free, and you need a TV. Bam! Hooked up a 50-inch TV. A Samsung, what is it, QLED TV or something? Yeah, beauty, look at that. Thank you so much, Tim from Stings Bricks. I appreciate it, man. You're a beauty. That is so awesome. Thank you. It's like the perfect size for up here. Like, wow, I'm blown away by that gesture. That is incredible. Also, I bought a vacuum the other day from Canadian Tire. This thing was only 80 bucks. So I went and bought myself a new rig. Check it out. 80 bucks, not too bad. That's got to be the cheapest vacuum ever. I think it was rated 4.7 stars out of 5. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go grab that from Can Tire. And yeah, pretty exciting stuff here today, everybody. Wow, look at all the progress we've made. These stairs, I forgot to feature them on the way down. Doesn't that look better? Wait till it's painted and taped in mud and we got carpet. Whoo, walking down into the Lego City area. Whoo, how cool is that gonna be? I'm fired up. Today was an amazing day. I want to talk a little bit about the power. So yesterday there was no power. I phoned the power providers, I think it was 4 times. I probably spent a net of maybe 3 hours on the phone, and they got the power back up and operational. And the retailer that I originally aligned things with picked up the power, and we are going. So in regards to the power like fright the other day, it was like, we're out of power, no, we can't continue doing stuff. I managed to delay the trades that couldn't work in the dark. The electricians came and worked in the dark a little bit. So they were like, well, no worries, we work in the dark all the time. It's all good. We can raise plugs and do our stuff in the dark. And then the plumber gas fitters, they were delayed anyway, so it doesn't really matter on that front. But they came here today and did a great job with ripping out the old furnace and putting in the new stuff there in the utility area. Pretty excited about that. And tomorrow, I'm not sure what's happening tomorrow. Oh, I think somebody's coming by in regards to the banners. I'm getting a quote on the banners, the cloud banners. So this will be pretty cool. Paul might come and do some grouting in that other room because, of course, we did that tile as well. So we might come and grout that tomorrow and let that set for the day. And other than that, most of the finishing work, painting these walls, patching these walls, taping and mudding this, and painting all of this is really reliant on getting this done, because you can't really start taping and mudding. Well, you don't really want to do that multiple times because it has to dry, and you got to do like 2 or 3 coats. So there's no sense in starting to tape and mud the stairs and mud these walls and start painting these walls until that is done, so that we can build the wall going around the utility room and then tape and mud all in one shot. You know what I mean? Like, there's no sense in doing the finishing work when we're not near the finish line, but we are getting there. We are getting there, that's for sure. So I just wanted to let you know that, the power thing, where it's like, ooh, I was getting all worried about the power. Those days are over. Luckily we jumped that hurdle, and we're moving forward with some amazing progress here in the studio, and I couldn't be happier. I was really looking forward to the staircase. I think that looks great. And I was really, really looking forward to this. And I was also really looking forward to the lights being raised up. Yeah, like, that just looks so cool. I'm happy about that change in general. That is just a fantastic change. Everybody, thank you so much for coming on by. Please remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for some more great stuff coming up in the very near future. Farewell.